me, Sean Capri, and welcome to We the GamerCast. It publishes right here at youtube.com/carpoolgaming and podcast services around the globe every single Monday, but patrons get it first. Don't forget to hit the like button and hit subscribe and ring the bell and all the things. And thanks for being here. Thanks for listening, telling your mom, telling your dad, telling all of your friends. Really, like, I want to know, has anybody told their mom about the show? I don't know. Is this show mom appropriate? Maybe if you are a mom, maybe, but is it your mom appropriate? That might be a whole other question. But thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you. Good show today. Lem, BadGamerElite, he would say if you were his friend, you can call him Lem. And as soon as you meet, you become best friends. And I can attest, I got to meet BadGamerElite at Married to the Games MTTG 500 earlier this year. Best hug I got, I don't want to make anybody feel bad. I got some really good hugs. I got you. I got a hug from you, Bravesby. I got a hug from you, Spencer. I got a hug from a lot of people over at Married to the Games. But man, this episode is a celebration of all the communities. I mean, most of these We the GamerCasts really are exactly that. But this would not have happened without Married to the Games, and that's very cool to think about. And I'm really glad that you tuned in. And if you're here for the very first time, I should say this kind of thing more often. A lot of times people will jump in for the very first time because they know the guests. They don't know who the heck I am. I'm the idiot who screams at the start of the show. And to be honest with you, I'm second guessing it. I'm 7 years into the show. Like, is that really the best thing to be doing? Like, what is the matter? But I'm second guessing it, but I'm also like, whatever, dude. Like, I'm kind of like in this weird end of year state where everything is freaking me out. I'm a little bit anxious about all the things, but also, and I'm aware of how little time there is to do all the things, but I'm also in this state where I'm like buying all these stupid Black Friday deals and oh my gosh, there's not enough time for all this stuff, but who cares? You know, like I'm having fun. I'm collecting all the things, but what I'm finding, and I don't know if you guys have the same experience as well, let me know in the comments below. There's so many things in so many different places that I'm like, do I have this game already? Like, have I bought this? I think I've got Doom and Doom 2 and Doom 64 on Switch and PC and on Xbox. Like, I need some serious work on my spreadsheet game. But what am I talking about? I'm getting way ahead of myself because if you're new, here's the deal. Every week I have sweet hangs with a friend or stranger from the internet. And if you want to be on the show, it's easy. Just tweet at me at Sean Capri. Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. Sometimes I use that in real life and I always get to laugh. I'm telling you guys, they're like, really? Like, what am I doing? What am I talking about here? I am talking about one thing before we get into the show because I want to jump right into it. Patreon.com/carpoolgaming is how you keep this show going. You keep the boat afloat. You keep us rolling into 2023. We got some plans. We can't do without your help. So go to patreon.com/carpoolgaming. And I would like to say thank you to all of our patrons over there, especially our ultimate producers, Mr. Robby Bobby Miller, Mr. Trucker Sloth, Mr. Tony Baker at youtube.com/quest4pixels, Dallas Ford, I'm going to stop saying Mr. because I think most of these people are Misters, Johnathan Brown with a new EP from PME called Gems. It's on Apple Music and Spotify. Lee Navarro, the fearless leader of the Phoenix Overdrive Extra Life team with a final push for 2022. Go check out phoenixoverdrive.com. Win yourself a PS5. You can do it. They're giving it away. You just, go to the website and find out more details. Our platinum producers, Marcus McCracken and RJ Kern. I want to roll the RJ Kern, R in the RJ Kern. Our gold members, Anna, Cecily Carrozza. Can I roll the R's in the Carrozza? Is this okay? Seth, what do you think about that, man? Dallas Robbins, Drellish. Emily O'Kelly, Foolish Fuji, Jose Jimenez, Marcus O'Neill, Skinny Matt, and the Snack Network. Thank you, everybody, for supporting us over there. A little sneak peek. I just threw this over to the team at Carpool Gaming. Normally, I would say all of our exclusive content is there for the $3 plus tiers, which has been by design, and we're thankful for everybody who supports us at that level. For December, we're celebrating the holidays. We're celebrating togetherness and gratitude to you guys for supporting us. Every patron getting the exclusive tier stuff. So $1 and up, you're getting the Sweet Hangs, you're getting the Pants Patreon podcast, you're getting the new post show after the Nintendo Drive, Console War Room, whatever the heck else, man. There's probably some other stuff I'm forgetting in there. So all you $1 patrons, there's many of you, a lot more content coming at you in December, so please enjoy. And that's all I got to say about that. Goodness gracious. Sweet Hangs, by the way, recording with Donnie Reese tomorrow as I record the Sunday. and we typically go the distance. And I think about that, I'm like, man, there's a lot to discuss. I think I'm going to talk about it right over there with Donnie Reese, all this Black Friday stuff, and I can't wait to hear from him. So why don't we just jump right on into my conversation with BadGamerElite. Lem, I almost said something else, dude. I'll tell you maybe offline what I was about to say. But BadGamerElite, what a sweet man. We could have talked about 4 different things. I allude near the end that like there's going to be, I think, 4 chapters to Lem on this. So we talk a lot about drawing, which I love. Like there's a little bit of video game stuff, but that's We the GamerCast. So welcome in if you're new, and if you're not, you know what you're in for. So why don't we go ahead and talk with my good friend and yours, BadGamerElite.
And working on something to say thank you to a few of the folks that were helping out with Extra Life.
Ooh.
And so I sent out, or I put things in not in the mail, but in the packages to be mailed.
Yeah.
My regular thank yous, and then the guys from Beyond Blue. I wanted to thank them, and everybody was getting a hand-colored image, right? Because I color. Yeah. I love coloring.
Yeah.
And so I have a bunch of artists that I have, I took the coloring books. I bought their coloring books and then shrink them down, shrink down the images, because big coloring pages are daunting to me. Like I have to do a whole page. No, but a little 4x6 I can do. Right. And then I was like, well, I can't do that for the Beyond Blue people. So one of my goals this year has been to learn to draw. And I really like the chibi art style. So I've been trying to learn how to draw chibi stuff. And I bought a book. I have a ton of books, but I bought a book. And it's how to draw these 50 or 100 chibi style critters and animals, mythical creatures, blah blah blah. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna look through that and see what I can draw for the Beyond Blue people. So I came up with, I don't know if you can see it very well at all, but
I love it, dude. Look, you got all like little postcard paper and everything, and the markers and everything too.
Yeah, so you got a little whale, little sharks, and jellyfish.
Cute, man. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You're an artist. By the way, there's usually a joke on the show where people go like, "Should we start recording now?" We're like an hour into the conversation. Like, is it okay if this is just like, maybe I should be clear to people, like, this is all I recorded a little while ago, but this is all gold, man.
Absolutely.
I just want to be clear. Sometimes I feel like I really surprise people, and they're like, they tell me something like really really private. It's like, oh shit, there goes the last 25 minutes, man. wasn't the intention.
No, I'm pretty much an open book.
Yeah, you and I are very similar like that. I think that's why we get along so well.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, we just met, but like obviously we're best friends. So that's how this goes.
Right?
Yeah, I think it is. I like how you said like you learned how to, like you're learning how to draw. I feel like that probably comes from somewhere though. You probably had some drawing at least at some point. Do you just want to like get better at it? It's not like you're drawing for the very first time.
Sir,
Sir.
Where is my first sketchbook? Give me a second.
Yeah. I don't know have any way of answering. This always happens. This is the second week in a row but although much faster. This time.
My headphones are off. Give me a second.
I couldn't even do the solo podcast. I couldn't last week. Jason Lacey just like, I got to go take care of my dog or something, and I'm like, I guess I'll just solo podcast here for a bit. And you didn't even let me do that. You're walking away screaming at the microphone, dude. Oh my gosh. We need to talk about Muppet Babies, by the way, in just a second.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yes.
Yes, we do. Okay. This 93% sure this was February of this year. I wanted to learn to draw.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm gonna zoom in so you can.
Oh, what kind of camera you got here? You're like manually zooming and focusing and all this. What the heck is this?
This is a Nikon D5 5000.
Oh my gosh!
It stopped recognizing the batteries, but I can use it as a webcam.
Very nice.
It shuts off every 30 minutes, but
that sounds like a pain. Dude, I would not be putting up with that.
So many people said, "Why don't you just change it out?" It's a whole thing on my channel now.
Yeah, no.
People like there is a redemption for turn your camera on.
Nice.
And people there have been times I've used a regular webcam and people are like, it hasn't gone off. I want to use the redemption.
Yeah, no, I will. I'm using a webcam right now, but although I'm finding it, anyways. Back to you. Not enough about me. Back to what are you showing me here? I almost want to grab my notepad and drawings and stuff. Look at us go.
So this is February of this year. I don't know if you can tell at all that February. This horrible trying, lots of crossing out, lots of just angry scribbles.
But kind of technical. It looks like you're kind of figuring out anatomy and kind of getting some more of the fundamentals down. Okay.
Yeah. Then I was like, I want to try chibi. Oh, I suck at chibi.
that is a scribble.
I'm just going to figure out color. So I'm just going to buy coloring books. I got some gel pens. I got markers.
Yo, I love this. Dude, you made a spreadsheet on a piece of paper.
Yeah, I have several different types of gel pens, lots of different types of markers.
Dude, I love this.
One day I was like, I'm just going to doodle. So I threw down some shapes. And I started, I just like little kid drawings. What they look like to me. But I figured out how to color them, and I realized I'm not bad at coloring.
You really aren't bad at coloring. I can't, dude. Choosing between colors and fonts, I have no clue, man.
So that's what I did. I just started learning color, and then one day I was like, okay, I started logging for this is I did gametography, which right? Mm-hmm. So I did gametography. So I started taking my gametography, printing that off in black and white and starting to color them.
Yeah.
But then I started logging what colors I used for what so that I could try to use those for other things.
Tell me more about that. I'm not sure I follow on that. What do you mean you're logging them?
So this is my color palette for Mystique.
Okay. Okay.
Mystique in Fortnite.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So that's her skin. So I have the three colors I used for her skin. I wrote down skin.
Okay. Yeah.
So for her hair, I've got 3 or 4 colors and how I blended them.
Yes.
And then the eyes, and then all the lips and all that.
Holy crap, dude! You're at the ground level fundamentals. You're not just doodling around or whatever. There's I feel like there's something here.
This is just color. This is all all the way through February, March, and then April comes around, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to do a sketch a day. That didn't last long, but then on April 17th, it was Easter. My kid said, "All right, drawing challenge. We're gonna watch Hop. The movie Hop." And the drawing challenge. So everybody put something into a hat, it was a noun. The overall theme was Easter, but a couple of nouns. So it was an animal, item of clothing, and a accessory. So it ended up being an armadillo in a top hat holding an umbrella. And you had to theme it Easter.
Okay.
So this is when I realized that I might have something, because I tried to go really cute. I looked up chibi because I really wanted to learn chibi style. I looked up chibi armadillo, and I found something similar to this. And I was like, all right. But what it was laying down.
Yeah.
It was on all fours. So I was like, okay, well, what would it look like if it stood up?
Yeah, so you're not just copying. It's not obviously not a trace, but it's a reference, but still it's not even you're drawing the same thing as on the piece of paper or the reference.
Right.
Nice.
So then on the 20th, I was like, all right, I'm going to draw a shape and try to do something out of it. And so I drew an egg shape, and I came up with the Eggosaurus Rex. Again, just really, really rough, not great. I messed around with colors. And then I learned a little bit about fashion drawing and how it's just there's a lot of blobs.
Yeah.
And you're just putting together the shapes to try to turn stuff into things. And I tried it and I sucked.
Not at all, dude. This is amazing. I also love how specific you are with the dates. Like, this was legitimately documented.
And then we went to
MTTG.
Yeah,
Here it comes. Yeah.
Yeah, we went there. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep trying stuff. And I colored mostly at MTTG.
Yeah.
It was mostly coloring. I was like, I don't want to embarrass myself. There are people that can draw here. I am not going to embarrass myself.
Well, I don't know about that.
I'm going to color.
Yeah.
But then I was like, all right, I'm really going to learn this. And so I looked into different courses, how to draw courses. And I ended up looking at a couple of YouTube videos, and I was like, all right, well, let me try some stuff. And I just started sketching. I started sketching and trying. So I came up with this.
Oh my gosh.
So this is the start of a character that I really wanted to develop. And then I was like, okay, well, let's stop trying to do everything.
Yeah.
Let's just focus on parts. Because I started, again, I used gametography to try to figure out how to draw a figure.
Yeah.
And this is actually using one of my skins in Fortnite. It's completely all in black. They're masked. It's all like a onesie. It's like a superhero deal. I took off the cape. I took up anything that is recognizable and just use that so I can look at figures.
Yeah, because you're just trying to figure out like proportions and stuff like that. Like,
right.
Make it look, reasonable, believable, whatever. Like that, there's something there. Like, not just, and the arms are 40 feet long. Like, and it's funny because like, unless you've actually ever really drawn before, like that might sound like obvious. Like,
yeah, how
hard could it be? But when you start to kind of manipulate these characters that you're creating and drawing in these different positions, you kind of need to know, like, like what angle is that in a 3D space? Like, what angle is that arm kind of going, and how long? Like, does that look weird that it's going backwards, but all these different like lengths and everything? Like, I think that's fascinating. Like, that's why I really love like the fundamental work that you're putting into this.
And this is all about in May. This is all in May.
Yeah.
And then like you said, the like trying to figure out where does it look like in space. This is all on one plane.
Right.
Nothing reaching out.
Right.
This is just reaching up. But then I tried to do a leaning forward, a little more of an action pose.
Yeah.
And I realized I don't know how to draw hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's when I was like, all right, we are going day by day, just body parts.
Right.
Just body parts.
I feel like you've already laid out probably 5 or 6 different points where anybody else would stop. Like, I don't know this. Reason to stop. I don't know how to do this. Reason to stop. But instead, you're like, I looked into it. I went to find out. Like, I don't know if you've thought about it in this way, but that's what it's screaming out to me when I'm hearing this is like, these are all reasons people quit.
Really?
I think so. Yeah. Like
these are all reasons. Like, these are the reasons why I always told myself I couldn't do it because I didn't know how to.
Right. So you had already made the decision, like, I'm just going to learn. And no matter what I find I can't do yet, that's kind of the whole point.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I didn't have a style. I didn't have this is
right
where I was just trying to draw what I saw.
Yeah.
And then June 1st was my first serious attempt at drawing hands.
Mm-hmm.
Attempt number 1 was rough, but I got it colored nicely.
Yeah.
Attempt number 2 was also rough.
Yeah.
And then, so as I was, like, when I got to attempt number 1 was bad. Attempt number 2 was kind of okay. And that's where I was like, okay, I just need to break down. Let me stop because I'm getting frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Let me break down what are the parts of the body that I need to learn to draw. And I broke that down into like 11 different things. Went back. Attempt number 3 was my proudest achievement in drawing. One of my proudest achievements in drawing hands. And I showed this to a friend of ours, Solnix.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And he was like, "That's great. That's so tiny." draw bigger.
Like a true friend would.
Yes.
Like not just like good for you. Like
yeah,
do better.
No, do better. Get bigger.
Yeah.
So we were in Alaska at the time when I'm learning how to do all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm watching videos. I'm downloading little ebooks. I started going back to Amazon. What is Amazon's book thing? Amazon Unlimited?
Sure.
Like
yeah, I think so. Kindle Unlimited. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I started doing that. I had a bunch of books there. And then I just went outside. I went outside. We were in this little chalet looking thing. And in Alaska, the mountain was right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's huge. It's miles away.
It's
but to me, it's right there.
Of course
right?
it's huge.
So I was like, I'm right now, I want to draw this whole scene.
Yeah, I love it.
Then I was like, I can't. I can't because I don't see the individual parts. I recognize that in myself. I don't see the individual parts. So I just took what was in front of me, and there were some rocks and some grass, and there was a tree. And so then I microcosm that down, just the line of that one tree, the grass, and a couple of rocks and a couple of flowers, and just rough sketch. Just
I love that.
Crazy rough sketch.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, time to go back to hands. June 6th, back to hands. June 6th was a rough day for hands. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to try hands one more time.
Mm-hmm.
And I came up with a decent hand.
Yo!
And then I was like, let's try a foot. And I drew a foot.
Yeah. And they're just like, what? Like, are you referencing anything else? Like, are you looking at pictures of hands or anything? Like, are you looking at your own hand?
Yeah. I'm looking at my own hand. I'm looking at like 8 different ways people draw hands.
Right. Yeah. Well, because there's always going to be some sort of trick to it, and the hands are an interesting one. I think they're tricky because they're kind of like everything we just talked about, all in one. Like
exactly.
The fingers don't go in the same direction. They don't like go that they're not parallel to each other. Like when you look at somebody just like with their, now I don't know what to do with my hands, but like,
right.
You know, they're all kind of, and they're all in relation to one another. They're all like in space, in depth of space. It's not like anybody holds up their hands flat at you, right? Like this. That's how you draw a hand, is like when you put it flat on the paper and you trace it. Like that's where people will start and suddenly realize, well, that's not how anybody would ever hold their hand. No. So now what do I do? Yeah, it's tricky, man.
It's crazy. Like these little.
And how long is each one?
End of a roll.
Yeah. How long are they compared to like the palm of the hand? Like how skinny? Like all these things, man.
So I got decent at hands. I started to draw, like this one's drawing a body, and
look at that. Yeah, man.
And then I really started to try to understand hands, and I really got into it because everybody I heard was like, hands are the toughest part. I can't stand hands. Yeah. And and then I was like, okay, it's eye day, so I started to draw eyes.
Oh wow. Oh, you didn't struggle with eyes at all.
No, eyes are pretty easy. Then it was bottom halves.
Yeah. I'm loving the breakdown of this, dude. Like this is not what, like, when I learn how to like try to learn how to play a song on guitar or draw something, like I just like look at a thing and I try to replicate it. Like I feel like you're actually learning how to create. You're not just learning how to draw. Like you want to like have a blank canvas and just go, what's in my mind today, and put that on the paper.
That's exactly what I want to do.
Yeah. That's what I'm hearing anyways, man. That is so cool.
Lips, it was June 8th. And then I was like, clothes. And I realized it's so easy to draw a body when you put the clothes on it first. Put the clothes on it first, you dork.
Here you are trying to be so studious and like a student of the craft and everything.
Right. I'm like, draw the clothes.
Yeah, but this is the shortcut stuff that gets, I don't know, man. Like that's what I would do. Like I would put but I love that, like you're a little bit more, like I said, the fundamentals are a little bit more important. That's gotta be something.
More hands.
And so it seems like you're kind of like locking in on a little bit more of like a realistic style. Is that a start?
At this point,
yeah,
it was the realistic style.
because especially if you're honing in on hands so much, then like
yeah,
realistic hands. Or it could be like Simpsons,
noses.
just take 2 fingers away or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's like make it a little easier.
And then I was like, but realistically, I know hands are important, the torso is important, but realistically, the character of whoever I'm going to draw is in the face. So I was like, what's my style? What do I want to go for? And this is probably the most realistic that I want to draw.
Yeah.
Was this character I'm trying to learn here. All right, I created this character. He's not fully fleshed out yet, but I have his name. I know like what he does for a living, what his personality is like, who his friends are, you know, how he reacts in certain situations. I have like a whole bio written for this.
That's
guy.
awesome, man.
And then colors and everything. So then it just repeats all the way through this first one to where, and so I started to come up with a second character, his counterpart, female counterpart.
Mm-hmm. And you know what kind of like stories and adventures these characters are going on? Like what kind of
what their purpose is. That's her and her. I like to call it her. What do you call them? Like youth worship leader hat. Right. But looking at all these, I was like, these are fun. And I drew this one. I drew his whole body. This was closer to that. But then I was like, this really isn't what I want.
Okay.
I've got it. I understand it. It's not what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I want fun. I want whimsical. I want just like, I want me. That's because that's who I am.
Yeah.
So I decided, all right, I'm going to focus again on learning to draw chibis.
Mm-hmm.
And I did buy a book. And with chibis, it's all about eyes. So I learned how to draw eyes. And then, so June 26th, I drew this big one. September 2nd of this year, I drew the chibi version of it.
Oh, that is so cool. I love that you put it right next to it, too.
Yeah, so that's where I'm...
like an eighth of the size, too. It's just so cute. Like, that's exactly the way it all just everything shrinks down is so cute.
So this was my first sketchbook, and I have a couple others. I've got 3 sketchbooks.
Yeah.
One is for when I decide, okay, I want to sit and I want to do something. I want to take this serious. I want to concentrate on it.
Right.
The other one is I want to kind of flesh out what I want to do in that finished sketchbook.
Yeah.
And the third one is one that my daughter in Alaska gave me when we were up there. It's I'm here and I want to draw that.
Right. Right. Yep.
So,
where did all this like this structure? Where did all this like? Because it's a very creative process that you're going through, but also very like it's almost like you're creating your own curriculum around it.
It's a little weird because I'm taking a little bit from here, a little bit from there.
I don't think it's weird. I think it's fascinating. Like it's this because I think my brain works in a very similar way, but not nearly as talented or creative. But it's just like if I'm gonna do something, like I need to like make sense of it, and this manifests on even if I'm gonna play a video game, I need to make sense of which video. And so like that gets me caught up in a whole bunch of nonsense. But like I really like this. I saw your color grid that you made up, man. I think
yeah. So I decided, all right, I'm gonna learn. So I started courses by Domestika. They don't sponsor me at all. They're not sponsoring the show. But I started taking courses in Domestika, and I realized that drawing, I get nervous.
Yeah.
And drawing and specifically coloring is what keeps me calm and focused.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why like during and gametography does the same thing, but it helps me focus, which is why before I came on I was doing some coloring of something that I do digitally. Now, I usually am not a digital guy.
Mm-hmm.
I tried it months ago. In the middle of when I was learning what I wanted to do and how I wanted to draw and all that, I tried digital. I absolutely hated it.
What are you drawing on digitally, like an iPad pen or something like that?
Well, I started with my Samsung A7, A10.
Oh yeah, just a tablet.
Yeah, tablet, right?
Yeah.
And then I have a work iPad, and I was like, all right, I have a work iPad. I'm the only one that uses this iPad. Nobody's gonna care what I do with it.
Yeah.
So I put Procreate on it, and I bought an Apple Pencil.
Okay.
So instead of spending $400 and change,
Yeah.
I spent $100.
Okay.
I bought an Apple Pencil using the work one. If I like it, I'll save up. I'll get an iPad.
Mm-hmm. And what was the program? Procreates? Is that what it was?
Yeah, Procreate.
Yeah. Okay.
And
where's my iPad?
I started.
I want to go like put it on my wish list or something like that. I got to write this down.
I started drawing on the iPad. I'm reading that Chibi book. And I'm trying to see if I can find some of these things that I did.
By the way, while you're looking, was this like a New Year's resolution thing? Because this is all this year.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. It was kind of a New Year's resolution thing.
Is this as hard as you've ever hit a New Year's resolution? Do you always go after like I feel like you might. You probably have like a good dozen or so.
If I like what I did this year, last year I started. Was it this year or last year? Last year, I was trying to just get organized.
Yeah, yeah, that's a classic. Yeah,
I didn't know what was going on. It just like my whole brain was I was just so confuddled.
Yeah.
And it just got stronger and stronger. And so I got tested for ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know when it was, but it was this year and it was snowing. I got diagnosed for ADHD, and all of my friends were like, "We've been telling you this for years."
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I thought, no.
Yeah, hopefully that test didn't cost you very much money because we did it.
Yeah, exactly. So I started bullet journaling even more.
Yeah.
I started watching this how to ADHD on YouTube. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
The lady that
interesting.
does stuff on there is fantastic. I started listening to Hacking Your ADHD as a podcast.
That's cool. Yeah. It's like a superpower. How do you make it? Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Turn it into something that's going to help you.
Love it.
And
that's a better way to put it.
Yeah. I started bullet journaling, and by doing that, stuff was just getting done.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily my New Year's resolution was to control and control my ADHD to the best of my ability, realizing I'm gonna have bad brain days.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, just know that I'm gonna have bad brain days. And,
how did that seems like an evolved, like was that an assisted thought to get to, or was that just a lot of self-reflection? Like that seems like that was a guided path to get there.
That was those podcasts.
Oh, that was that. Oh wow, okay.
That was YouTube.
Yeah.
That was all of that.
Yeah.
And like I'm just taking it to heart and realizing I'm gonna mess up. You know, and knowing that my diabetes on top of that can mess with how everything works.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just
that makes sense.
Just trying to make sense of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was that was where the getting stuff done came from.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I put in our chat here. I put a couple.
Oh, I'll wreck my entire video recording if I.
Okay.
You know what? I have a second screen, sir. I think I might be able to handle this. Actually, let's see. What do we got here? I'm not getting any notifications. These are incredible. Can I put these in the? I don't even know if I am able to put things in show notes. These are awesome.
These are I started. These are from that book, but I made adjustments to them myself.
What is this guy with the sunglasses? What exactly is that?
He's a Sasquatch.
Okay. Dude, that is awesome.
And so these are taking lessons from that book, how to draw these things.
Yeah.
But I've changed them. For instance, that was the Bigfoot, but they had him sitting down and he was a little bit rounder.
Yeah.
So and he did not have sunglasses on.
Sure.
So I drew him just walking through the woods.
Mm-hmm.
He's not in the woods there, but he's just chilling in the woods. The next one is an axolotl, but I changed it into a fairy axolotl very easily. I just threw on the wings. And then the third one was supposed to be a dragon, but I turned him more into a basilisk.
Dude. And the digital color that you have, like in the textures too.
That was my main thing about learning that is I know the textures that I can get on traditional media. I know what I'm getting.
Right.
Whereas on digital, I have to relearn all that. There's a lot to learn about it. But I mean, again, when the courses I've been getting on Domestika, instead of Skillshare, because I looked at both of those.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at Skillshare and Domestika, and I was gonna go Skillshare because all I heard was Skillshare. But then I started reading deeper into it, and they're like, "Yeah, absolutely, you can go to Skillshare, and there's a ton of stuff on Skillshare." But it's not, they don't have a standard really for what they're looking for.
Right.
Where Domestika is, you have to do it this way.
And that fits better for you?
Like, well, not necessarily I have to do it this way. Their course, the people that are running the course, Domestika says, you have to have these types of things and it has to be structured this way to make it to be on our platform.
Okay.
And I like that because no matter where I'm going there, I know what I'm going to get.
It's so funny. I feel the same way. Like sometimes the accessibility of it sounds like it would be a benefit. Like whatever you want, like do whatever. It's like, don't give me all the options. Like narrow it a little bit for me. Like choose for me some of these things. Yeah, I definitely get that. Yeah.
And they and one thing I will say about Domestika is they're really based in Europe and Spanish-speaking countries in Europe. The thing about that is I don't speak Spanish, and I don't like subtitles.
You know I don't speak Spanish.
Slow down.
I'm
not even mad. So I found some courses and I looked at this year. I was like, how much did I spend on all these courses?
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I was like, I might as well just buy the year subscription and have access to any of the free ones.
Yeah.
Quote unquote free ones. And then every month you get a credit for whatever course you want.
Cool. Yeah.
And it paid for itself right there.
Yeah.
In a year, it was like 80 something bucks. So it's like $7 a month. And a course, even on sale, is $10.
Yeah.
If they go down from 50 on sales. So yeah. So I did that. And then the first one I got with my first credit was a course on Procreate. And that's when I started to draw digitally. And I'm not even far into it, and it has made it so much easier to do things in Procreate. And what I realized was I can draw it traditionally, take a picture of it, put it in Procreate, and then it can be cleaner.
Right. So you're just drawing on? Are you just drawing on top of it, setting some sort of transparency or something, and then
exactly?
Yeah.
And then I can have my own coloring pages.
Oh my gosh, that's brilliant! So you make it once, You draw it once, you digitally create it, then you're able to print it out a bunch of times and then just color on top of it. So there's still the handcrafted, but digital. That's amazing, dude.
It's a couple extra steps, and people, some of your listeners will be like, "Why would you just draw it on the pad?" It's so different.
I agree with you. Well, and I'm not an experienced illustrator by any stretch of the imagination. I think I have to use my thing where I get to tell you to turn your camera back on. It totally just happened.
Oh yeah. Oh,
yes, I get to redeem. Yes. But I had never really thought, because I like to watch those. There's these short videos that Todd McFarlane used to do where he's like, "Hey everybody, I'm going to show you how to draw Spider-Man right now," and he just like whip up this drawing, which is amazing. But there's all these. He has all the programs. He's got the whatever it is, Wacom drawing pad. And
the Wacom tablets. Yeah, I've got a tablet right here. I'm so scared to do anything on the computer.
Right.
Like for drawing anyway.
Yeah. Well, but like oftentimes you'll see him have like a little rough sketch underneath, and then he's kind of almost like he's inking on top of it. But I never thought of, because I like pen and paper. Like the fact that you're doing both at the same time is probably the best way to do it. So you're not like too locked in on one. You're not like so comfortable with one that you will never make the jump over to digital or anything like that. Like the fact that it's all kind of happening within the same year, probably the best.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm jealous, man.
There's a lady on TikTok, Frankie, and she is an amazing artist. She does all traditional. She uses black paper and colored pencils. And she's amazing at it. And she told me, she was like, "Hey, so I started coloring pages too."
Yeah.
I'm like, "There's no freaking way." She's like, that's how I started. I started doing coloring pages.
That's cool.
Eventually, you are going to start wanting to draw your own. I was like, no, there's no way.
Yeah.
This is like 6-8 months ago. And I'm about to yell at her.
You were right.
She is so freaking right.
Yeah, man. I'm really impressed, dude. Like, this takes a lot of dedication. You could have been just like, especially with like ADHD, like you could have got distracted at any moment. Go like, I'm out. I'm gonna go do something else. Like, isn't that kind of counter to the whole thing?
Well, the cool part of it is this. I started out with that in mind. Like, there's a good chance I'm not gonna do this. Yeah. My wife, like the amount. I wish you know what? I'm gonna take a picture. You can show it to you on the where's my phone? I don't even know where.
I don't know.
But I don't know. It's like, where are my glasses? My wife
feel a lot better.
My wife was like, "Hey, you got a lot going on here, buddy.
Yeah.
And you're gonna forget about some of this stuff in 2 weeks." And I was like, "You're probably right, but I love this so much. I'm all in on this.
Yeah.
I need you to understand that as of right now, you're right. I might not be into this in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right now, I am all in. And if
that.
I ever come back around to it, I have everything I need. I'm not going out and buying more stuff."
Yeah.
So
that's what I was going to ask you about. Actually, was supplies. Like you need the paper, you need the pens, you need the pencils. You got all the markers you got. Like that's all. Like how many markers do you have? Like how many? What are we working with here? What kind of supplies?
You ready? You ready for this? Hold on, I'm gonna say.
Y'all ready for this?
Say it. I will say this right after I send you. And this is just a little bit. I don't have everything here, but I will send you a picture right now, and then I'll talk about it for the listeners.
I just about said, "Where's my phone?" Wait a second. What did I do with this thing? I put it back on the little charger here. Dude, like this is a dream. These markers are like, that is so, I don't know what it is. Ever since I was a kid and like Crayola markers was a thing, it was like, I want all of them. I want the smelly kind. I want the ones with like weird patterns on it. Like I want neon was huge back in the 90s. And I think neon, like it looks like neon's back in a big bad way. Like all these things. And, my best friend growing up, neighbor Matt, we grew up next to each other, and we would draw all the time. We would open up like whatever NES game, like instruction manual, and just like draw all the stuff inside, because it was like Back in those days, it was, here are the heroes of the story, and here's like the character you're gonna be playing, and here's all the enemies, and let's tell you like a paragraph at least on every single, like, here's the Goomba and what he does, and like Mega Man, here's all the different villains in Mega Man, and then we would make up our own, because it's like, how hard could that be? It's like Rockman and whatever the hell else, like it's pretty basic stuff. So you just make up your own. So it's a very innocent and fun, like, just way of going about your day. I feel like it's something that people, for whatever reason, might feel like they grow out of it. Maybe they feel like they have to be really good at it, otherwise they can't do it and enjoy it. But I'm really like taken aback in a super positive way here, that what a great way to spend time, of just getting better at it. Oh, the art of Horizon Zero Dawn. Oh, nice.
Horizon Dawn, art of Anthem.
Oh, so you're surrounding yourself with inspiration.
Yes, absolutely. And this is kind of where I want to go.
Yeah.
All right. I want to end up doing chibi.
Yeah.
Of video game stuff.
Dude, and that what a great book you've got there, The Art of Anthem, mainly because like it stands up really nicely next to Horizon as well, but everybody has forgotten or written off Anthem. But there's so much great about it, and the art might be the one thing that's like, what a striking game, man.
Gorgeous. My plan is to start drawing chibi video game stuff.
Yeah.
Because part of our Patreon, the Gametographers Patreon, is like the first level they get like a phone background.
Yeah.
Like I do.
Oh, that's
video
such
game
a good
photography,
idea. Holy crap.
And they get a phone background.
Yeah.
Second level is they get a phone background and a desktop background. Third level is they get a phone background, a desktop background, and a Twitter header, or what do you call the thing?
Not me copying all of these ideas down on a notepad right now. Yes, this is a. This thing launches right alongside. Guess what, everybody?
We got a Patreon now.
$10. We have $10 patrons. Get this, and this. Get ready, Lachlan.
and then that
is such a good
along
idea.
with the third level, the third and fourth levels, they get a coloring page.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And I've been doing it all from Gametography. But my goal is to learn how to draw these characters. And
I'm literally writing this stuff down, dude. I don't even care. That is so good. That is such a brilliant idea. I love it. And I love that it comes from, like, the fact that you're able to, like, turn it into something like that. That's really genius in and of itself. But it doesn't sound like that's where it started. It doesn't sound like, I want to learn how to draw so that I can make this a Patreon thing, blah, blah, blah. Like, what? And if that's what you do, that's great too. But it just seems like such a natural and organic pathway that you're like, I want to learn how to do hands. I'm going to do this chibi. And then all of a sudden we're here. Like, what? I love it.
Like, we were already doing the Gametography piece for it because that's just our thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like I was giving enough to our patrons.
Yeah.
I was like, you guys literally are paying for the gallery, because we have the Gametographers gallery.
Yeah.
Where we take folks that in the virtual photography community that don't have a place. They might not have a website. All they do is they put their stuff on Instagram, and they really want something that's a really nice and creative way of viewing their hard work. And so the patrons pretty much pay for the gallery.
Yeah.
You know? And so I felt like I wasn't giving enough back to them, and I needed to do it.
Well, and I think that's kind of some of the ingredients of some of the best Patreons out there, is where people want to support you for what you're offering, and you still feel like you want to give more. So it's like this virtuous cycle that ends up happening where you end up giving more, and they're like, oh, well, thank you. Like, we were good already. So we'll just, that's it's such a, like, nobody should really ever take anything for granted, just in general, let alone especially like a Patreon for something creative. Like, you know, people have so many different ways they could spend their time. And I was just reflecting on this the other day, like, even the act of signing up for the Patreon. Like, it's not exactly like, it's not that it's a hard thing. It's just like you could be doing anything else. You're going for a walk or driving in your car. Whenever you get that call to action, like sign up for our Patreon. It's like, generally speaking, you're not where you need to be to do it in that moment, so you'll forget about it. So I just think that it's amazing that, obviously, in addition to the dollars that people send over, that they actually like remembered and like made it a priority in that moment to go, I better sign up for this.
Our patrons are fantastic, and a lot of them have been with us since we started the channel. Yeah. The Twitch channel and the community. And like, we didn't have a Patreon, and not a lot of them subscribed on Twitch. Mm-hmm. But when they found out, oh, you have a Patreon? Yeah, I'm in. Let's go do a thing.
That's the thing. And that's why, like, the notion of like competing with one another as far as like Patreon goes is actually kind of silly, because the more people who have like just a Patreon account, or the more people who support even just one Patreon, it increases the likelihood of them supporting a second one or a third one or a fourth one. Like, because you have to, like, the hardest part is actually like creating the account. Yeah. And once you're there, then you can find more. And then what I love about this conversation though is I'm constantly on the lookout for like different approaches and what other people are doing, because so many of us do Patreon the exact same, and there's a couple of unique things I think we do with Carpool Gaming, but it's not entirely unique. But what I'm seeing from you, like, this is why I'm going to copy it. I'm going to totally take this idea from you. But I just love how purely, I might wait maybe a couple of weeks so that, it's not quite so obvious, or change, like, copy my homework, but change it just a little bit.
Hello, McFly. Hello. I'm going to need time to.
I'm just going to let time delay. I'll let everybody forget that this was a thing. But it's going to go on the whiteboard, man. It's going to go on the whiteboard. But it's just a beautiful thing. But for real, like, it's just a wonderful thing to see. Like, it's not the same as the next thing, and it's coming from such a place of, let's just try to be creative. And I have this question for you. What came first, the creativity or the glasses that you're wearing? Because I'm wondering if one can be creative without amazing spectacles, or the other way around, man.
Yes, you can. Yeah. However, it does help. Because I have taken to now my outfits that I wear.
I see this.
Depend on what toppers I'm wearing.
Snap, you had that ready to go, dude. You had another frame just like right there.
Dude, TikTok has changed my freaking life, bro.
Oh, that sounds terrifying to me. Oh my gosh.
But I have met some amazing people. Yeah. On TikTok, like actual.
Oh snap! How many is that? How many is that?
Not including the sun tops. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
These are all magnetic, 6, 7, like colored 8, frames 9, for your glasses.
10, 11.
Oh my god.
11.
Wow.
I've got sunglasses ones too. Yeah. And I actually, here's the thing. I bought these from a lady that makes them. I'm not going to say her name. Okay. Because I don't know if she's supposed to be doing this. But she makes them. I bought these. You know what else I bought? The mold to make them.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
I haven't made them yet, but once I want to get
2023's
I want to get a Cricut.
Yeah, my wife has one.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's all in on it, man. Between that and like 3D printing, she's learning how to do all that stuff. Like, she's so creative, man. Like, and it helps like with the kids' birthdays. It's like she can do whatever she wants. Yes. Like, whatever theme is, like, now we have these banners and these signs and all this stuff. Like, she can do whatever she wants, dude. And it's awesome. And I have so much respect for like how much time it takes, which is, it's one thing to do a podcast and you sit in a chair and you like chat for an hour or whatever, but like you don't know how long something is going to take you when you embark on an artistic endeavor like that. Like, it could be just like really quick and it's just like, it is what it is, and the pencils flow and everything's great. Or you slam your head against the table for 2.5 hours and you end up with nothing in the end anyways. And to me, there's almost nothing more frustrating than like throwing away a couple hours. So I've got to wrap my head around that a little bit differently, but
yeah.
Is it
Yeah, so the toppers, I absolutely love them.
Yeah.
And I legitimately will, like the night before, I'm like, okay, how do I feel today? How do I think I'm gonna feel tomorrow? And then I'll put an outfit together. And because of the ADHD, if I have my outfit ready made for myself, it's so good. It's so much easier.
Dude.
Like, hey,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I feel like Hufflepuff tomorrow. But
I
the
love
beauty
it.
of
That's
feeling
so
like
awesome.
Hufflepuff
Yeah.
is I can also wear Pikachu.
Mm.
I can also wear Tracer.
What a beautiful mind, dude. What an absolutely this brain is fascinating to me. I love it. Well, and it's interesting because like I'm not quite doing the exact same thing, but I'm definitely finding when I write, literally I'm writing down like things I need to get done the next day. And that helps me like detach from all the worries I've got in my head. So it's just like,
Yes.
I've got my things sorted out and they're like, I can just stop circling them in my head. Cause oftentimes they'll just be there so that I don't forget. I'll just be like, I got to remember this. I got to remember this. I got to remember this. And by writing it down, it's like, I'm actually getting it out and I no longer have to worry about whether or not I'm going to remember something.
Do you bullet journal at all?
Well, I don't know. I'm not super familiar with the term, but maybe that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Look up bullet journaling. The beauty of bullet journaling
is like bullets. Words are like bullets.
Bullet journaling is I forget the guy's name who created it, but it breaks things down into segments.
Yeah.
And for me, very important to break things down into segments because
sure.
Otherwise I see either way, I'm going to see the segments, but when I break it down into segments, I'm at least controlling what segments and when they have to get done.
Totally. Yeah, I get it.
Because otherwise I'll stop and I won't do it because there's so many segments.
I love it.
But it's so good. And it started out as this is my task list. This is when I need to get it done.
Yep.
It has since become this is my task list. Where is it? I don't have it within hand. Here's this is my task list. This is when it's gotta get done. This is how I felt when I was doing it.
You come back to it, yeah.
This is what I can do better next week with it.
Oh, wow.
Here's a doodle that explains how I actually felt during that moment. Oh yeah, my wife's birthday is tomorrow. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
So it literally is tomorrow. That was not me exclaiming that it's tomorrow, but
well, happy birthday.
That actually happened.
Dude, that's a great there's a lot to be said about a birthday closing in on Christmas, but a birthday right after Black Friday is pretty decent, dude. That's pretty great. Yeah.
Today she was like, so am I buying my own birthday present this year? I was like, because normally I let her just buy her own. I was like, I already got you something. Yeah. She's like, no way. I was like, yeah.
Look at you, man.
Not day of either.
Getting organized. Yeah, man.
So yeah. It's I'm really happy with the bullet journaling because it has allowed me, because my wife, oh gosh, she's like, I am working my tail to the bone. I don't understand how you have all this time to play a video game or read a book or to draw.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I make the time for it.
Yeah.
But in the past I've made the time for it, but forgot to do everything else.
Right.
But now I'm making the time for it and getting stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
And I 100% attribute it to A, my meds, B, the skills I learned from those podcasts, and C, bullet journaling.
I love that. I want to look this up. I've definitely made a few notes in addition to the stuff I'm copying off of you, but like these are.
Hey, here's the thing about there's an art. What we do, podcasting, streaming, all that stuff. It's art. I don't care who tells you what. It's art, and there is nothing original in art. All art is stolen.
Well, that's you're being very kind to say that, but I'm really inspired. I mean, last week with Jason Lacey as well, like he kind of was turning a corner. It seemed like he was just kind of getting back after it, and this is just, I love the notion of, well, there's something else that can be done. That kind of attitude has always been very alluring to me. And when I lean into it, that's when I'm probably happiest, is like, oh yeah, we can totally do this. And let's just see what happens. That's just super fun. And I don't know.
Let's see what happens. Oh,
right?
I love, that's one of my favorite things.
Let's just find out. Yeah. And sometimes you end up getting bogged down, to your point earlier, I think. Like you're just trying to get through, you're just trying to keep things sorted, but you're not really creating, you're not elevating, you're not like doing anything new. And every once in a while, if you're able to just set some time aside to go, okay, what's next? I don't know, that to me is like, that's the best. And now that's all I want to do is, after this conversation, is like, okay, so like, what do I do with this now? Because you're showing me that I'm glad I'm talking to you now, because I could have been talking to you halfway through the year. Could have been right after MTTG 500 or whatever.
Yeah.
But the story hadn't, like, kind of the narrative hadn't turned the corner yet. I don't think. It didn't sound like it's like you had everything documented like day by day. It seemed like we would have had a much different conversation here. And now you're realizing the benefits of the work that you've been putting in. It's
nice to see it. And sometimes I don't. And that's the problem. But that solution, again, is that journal piece.
Yeah.
I don't see it. Like when I can't remember exactly when it was. And that's one of the reasons why TikTok is part of my journaling concept.
Like you creating TikToks or watching them?
Creating.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah,
okay.
I create TikToks, and one of the things that I really wanted to do and learn and understand was I had a ukulele, and I think I've been on TikTok almost a year and change, maybe almost 2 years now. But partway through my beginning of my TikTok journey, my wife bought me a banjo lately.
Nice.
And because I wanted to learn to play the banjo, and she was like, that's going to be really difficult for you, and I want to see you succeed, and you already know how to play the ukulele. So I picked up the banjo lately, and to see my progress with that, like in TikTok, I can see it because I started this series called Songs That Don't Belong on the Banjo Lately.
I love this.
I started with ukulele improv.
Yeah.
So somebody would give me a topic, and I would find some chords, and on the spot come up with a song about it.
Okay, that concludes this conversation. The creativity is far too much. This is like, I've had enough. You know, like a second ago it was inspiring, but this is far too much. I'm just kidding. Also, a banjo-lele sounds like, you know, the natural smashing together of the game ukulele and banjo-kazooie, which were obvious, you know, connections. Yeah, look at the size of that thing. It's so cute.
It's cute. It's adorable. And
in 4 strings?
Yeah, 4 strings.
Okay,
and it sounds like a banjo.
Yeah, but it also sounds like ukulele. Even the way you were that was very much a ukulele strumming. Like that's okay. Yeah. I think I'm about to start
doing
crying.
That, yeah.
Why am I what's the song we're all crying about with ukuleles? What the heck?
But yeah, so I started doing that. And then people started requesting specific songs that don't belong on the banjo-lele.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd look them up, and I was like, I don't know how to do a B flat. I'm not doing that song.
Yeah.
But my audience requested it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got to learn to play a B flat.
Yeah.
And so people coming up and saying, we need to do this. I need this song. I need Dragula by Rob Zombie on the banjo-lele. I was like, let's go. Yes. And we did Dragula. We've done Blink 182. And now we've transferred to songs that absolutely belong on the banjo-lele.
That's awesome.
And a lot of it was pop. A lot of it was folk. And now I'm starting to grow into, what if we put Motown?
Oh, snap.
So now we started putting Motown songs that absolutely belong on the banjo.
To my question about the glasses earlier, like what shows up first, the creativity or the weird instrument? Like, is that like, you know, it's like a Steve Martin kind of thing. Like, he's just like, this is when I realize there's a limit to like what I'm going to be able to accomplish in this world, because like my glasses are plain. Like I used to have like cool blue glasses, but I sat on them. You know, it's just like a metaphor for my damn life. It's like, you want to be creative? Yeah, you're gonna accidentally break that because you're klutzy. Holy cow, man.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing.
Amazing. Holy cow. Okay, well, look, Lem. I need to have you back on before the end of the year. Yeah, and we're a month left. Because like that's it. Like you're gonna have to be like, I don't know, maybe the last one of the year. I'm not sure. I keep making these promises, but like there is, I think, at least 3 parts to a conversation with you, and we did one of them today. I want to talk more about streaming. I actually want to talk more about the gametography. I want to talk about Muppet Babies.
Okay.
So you've got to come back. This is just the start.
Where do we fit clowning in there?
I mean, maybe that's Patreon exclusive, actually.
There we go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, I like that, man. That is awesome, dude. And you're streaming, well, you know, just to give a bit of a tease for that, you are streaming. Is it most days, every day? Is it weekdays?
It's
mornings?
most days, but I'm a morning guy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just because I work for a nonprofit.
Yeah, so do I. We're best friends. We're the same.
We're besties.
We're obviously identical people.
I mean, obviously, if you see us,
you see us next to each other.
You're like, which? Okay, I always get you guys mixed up.
Yeah, that's true. I get it all the time. Is it Sean or Lem?
Oh man, that just proves. And MTTG fam, that just proves I'm Canadian handsome.
Damn right. Yeah. Which. Yeah, so your mornings.
Yeah, mornings. Usually anywhere between 7 and 8 will be the start.
Yeah.
Of the stream, and I'll go, depending on the day, 2 to 3 hours, because my regular job, it's about video games and faith. Yeah.
Look at you. That's the dream. Good job.
I stream for work.
Yeah.
and the conversation I'm so excited about this. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I know we're trying to so excited about this. My boss came in. She was like, "Okay, you're talking about how you're not growing and you really want to. What do we have to do?" And I showed her the numbers. I showed her successful people in the realm of what we're doing. And I said, "We need to stream more, because people are showing up for the 1 hour in the afternoon, or the 3 hours on Thursday."
Yeah.
We need to stream more, and we need to game more, just to get people to show up and know who we are.
Yeah.
And she said, "Okay." And that was it. Okay.
Yeah. And you take that yes, and you run with it.
Yeah. So we will be streaming not only on my personal channel, but my work channel. And if you want to know what that is, find my personal channel or find me.
Okay. How do people do that? BadGamerElite on Twitter and on Twitch?
On Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, MySpace, Facebook.
Shout out to MySpace. You on Hive yet?
No, I'm not on Hive yet.
Yeah, I'm not on Hive either yet. We'll see.
Do I need to get on Hive?
I don't know. Dude, I'm the last person to answer a question like that. Like, I have no clue. I've got Jar Jar Binks as my stupid profile picture, so what do I know about social media?
Bro, I'm playing Star Wars, Lego Star Wars, so...
Oh, the Skywalker Saga?
Yeah,
I mean, I know. I'm asking as if I haven't been watching. I just picked it up on Black Friday, so I've been going... I'm going to have a conversation with Donnie Reese this weekend, and we are going to share notes, man, and... We have a couple hours left of Black Friday. Cyber Monday is coming up. There's bad decisions to be made. With
plenty of them.
Oh my God. But I love it, man. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Oh, dude. I like I said, I've been so inspired just chatting with you. I am now going to go check out on Black Friday deals on colored markers and whatnot.
Bro.
Let me know what you have. That's the other thing. Like, if you can let me know like what that is. I've seen the pictures, but like what have you bought? Why did you pick those? And then that's it. Then we're leaving.
Alcohol markers. Just gonna say it real quick here. The one that is on the vertical stand, the Spider-Man stand.
Yeah.
Those were gifted to me.
Okay.
My friend Darth Kryptonite. He's a streamer on Twitch.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
Darth Kryptonite. That's awesome.
He is the biggest Superman fan I know. His daughter's name is Kara.
Wow.
Like he has kids named after Superman characters.
Amazing.
And his wife is cool with it.
Kind of have to be.
Yeah. But those are Copic markers, probably the most expensive markers you will find.
What are they called?
Copic, COPIC.
Okay.
You don't need them.
Sure. But if they're on sale for Black Friday, they're probably not. No, they don't go on sale on Black Friday, do they?
If you want to look at low cost but decent quality, Sanjoki. Yep, SANJOKI. Great markers. These are the ones I started with.
Okay.
And their new series is really, really good. They've got a round. There's the square series, which is their old ones, the round ones. If you see the squares, don't go for those. Go for the round ones.
Okay. Go for the round ones, the Sanjokis. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But absolutely middle tier, probably the best ones I own. I save those for when I'm traveling because I want those to last forever. So I don't use them on a regular. My absolute favorite ones, Prismacolor.
Okay.
I believe they're Prismas.
Prismacolor. Okay, I'm looking.
93% sure. Hold on. Be right back. Don't leave. Stay there. Don't move.
These Prisma. When I'm looking up on the color markers. Okay.
Stay right. Don't blink.
Hey, look at this Black Friday deal. Look at this Prismacolor Premier double-ended art markers, fine and chisel tip, 12 count, $31 down from 46 Canadian.
This is how much I love them. I have them in this bag.
They have their own backpack. Holy crap.
But also, in that bag, they also have my sparkly Harry Potter Hogwarts lunchbox.
Yeah, I need to come to your house. Like this is you're right. Like the kid, you want to see my room?
Prismacolor.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love this. Is the ones that hold on. This is what I carry with me when I go on trips, and I travel a fair amount in the winter for work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is my travel set. I have a set, the round Sanjokis. Those are the ones I have at work.
Yeah.
The square Sanjokis and the Copics I have at home, because the Copics I tend to use the most, and then I supplement with Sanjoki, and then the Prismacolors. I absolutely love them. Absolutely.
These are gorgeous, though, man. And there's something about like just the complete set that just looks real nice. I will say, searching on Amazon, I gotta keep focused here because I searched for one thing and it's got everything but Copic showing up. So oh dude, what the heck? I remember looking at this because I had a brief stint. That's why I was really inspired by this chat. Like I had a brief stint at the earlier part of the year. I'm like, I'm gonna get a sketch pad and some pencils and markers and whatever. But I just did black markers just for like inking and outlines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And because this is too complicated, the colors, I can't ever pick all these things.
Oh,
but they look real nice.
The behavioral therapist that I went to for ADHD said that puzzles are good, and I said, "What about coloring?" She was like, "Yes, coloring can be good if you tell yourself you're sticking to a simple palette."
Right. Yeah.
And you stick to that palette. So that's what I do. I pick top end three. I don't want to say colors per se, but three color families,
and
then top end three specific colors in those families, and then top end three types of materials. So like here, this one here, I'm almost done with this real quick. I can show you. What I've been working on here is just the first layer of that axolotl that I printed out. And my color palette for this is like a bright green and a pink, and then maybe like a not quite a deep red,
Yeah, but they all go together. That looks like that. Like you've chosen well. That seems like that's what that should look like. Like for whatever reason, that green goes with that pink. I don't know exactly why that is. I've had some people try to explain color wheels to me before. I don't understand 100%, but that seems to work.
Yeah, but I'm not going to stop here.
Okay.
Because it's very plain. So I need to get my shading done. So I can either go with I can go back in with marker.
Mm-hmm.
I can go back in with colored pencil.
Okay.
Or I can go in with, this is my favorite thing to do. Either oil or soft pastels.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
And then you can shade those really well with these.
All right. Well, I thought I was just going to be spending money on bad or old video games for like $1 or $2 a piece here, but I think I might be spending the evening on Amazon.ca and checking out some stuff, man. This is so awesome.
They make a 96 Crayola.
Yes, they do, dude. I love this is all within like arm's reach for you. Like, you know, you've gotten up maybe once or twice, but like this is all like right there. I need to upgrade my desk situation so I can like store all this
trust
stuff.
Me, there's a reason you can't see all what's going on right here.
Fair enough. Fair enough, man. All right, dude. Well, I won't keep you all night. There's different versions of Lem that will be on this show. Tonight it was artistic coloring, drawing, illustrating, teaching us all how to be better about ourselves a year later after we decide to do something. That is amazing. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, all the places. BadGamerElite.
All BadGamerElite.
That is so cool, man. It was an honor meeting you earlier this year. Best hug in Nashville. Like that was just the greatest. And just another example of like the Married to the Games community just being just awesome. And the podcasting community in general, like changing lives. And we wouldn't have had this conversation if it wasn't for Married to the Games. You know, just finding each other through that community. And
it's the fam, man.
They'll never stop blowing my mind because, like, what the heck, man? What is with this world?
Right.
The fact that we were able to, our paths crossed, and here we are having this chat. So
I love it.
Very, very cool, dude. Thanks for being on tonight, man.
Thanks for having me.
There were a few times during that conversation where I alluded to the notion that Lem and I are very similar in a couple of different ways, and I'd like to think so. I'd like to think so, at least in the moment, but we're different in a pretty key way. He's actually doing the thing. You know what I mean? Like, I like to think about things. I would like to think I'm doing the things, but like it's the commitment that really struck me in that conversation. It's the overcoming the obstacles. And when I think I mentioned at one point, because this was, as I'm recording this is yesterday that we chatted. And there was a couple times where I mentioned like people would quit at this stage or this, like, I really should have said like I would have quit at this stage. And it's the pushing through that I'm really inspired by. And that's some other stuff that's going on just in my life in general on a fitness front. I didn't give you guys really an update. I'm about to go for a run right after this. I want to get this out to Patreon and everything. It's all set and that's all good. I'm going to go for a run. Last week I did 11K. Today I'm planning on doing 12K. Now that I've said it, I got to do it, man. To be honest with you, my body doesn't feel great, but that's exactly why I'm going to do it. And that's exactly what I'm talking about is there's a reason. I've come up with a very real reason to go like maybe tomorrow. Maybe I won't do it. Maybe I'll go back down to 10. But my plan is, my objective, I want to get better at this. So that's what I'm going to do, man. So, Lem, thank you so much for your inspiration. I got to get back to drawing. I've got my sketch pad just in the other room. Some of you might remember I did a drawing of Ryan Turford riding a moose a little bit earlier this year. Like, I enjoy it, dude. And I don't know, just the creativity and the artistry and the endeavor, all of it, man. I love doing this show because I get to see, I've said it a million times before, what paths are y'all taking in life? I'm inspired by you all. There's so much to do. There's so much to get to. That can be a little bit overwhelming, but aren't we lucky that there is so much to get to? Thank you so much for listening. You can support me on Twitter at Sean Capri, Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. Patreon.com/carpoolgaming is how you keep the show going. We've got some cool plans for you coming up in 2023. But before we even get there, we've got some Game of the Year chitter chatter to get after. I'm going to do some streams. I'm going to try to cram. It's like an exam. I'm going to try and cram as much in as possible. Just about to finish Mario plus Rabbids, so that's very cool. The music is coming to an end, so I want to say thank you for listening. Support us on YouTube, but also thank you to Josh Stapleton for carving out this clip of the late, great Bobby Pauls, the wonderful Nintendo guru, who's about to slam Sonic the Hedgehog for a couple minutes. So please enjoy as we celebrate Bobby every single week here on the show. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Alan, I don't know what his deal is. He went off to go fight crime or some nonsense, or just lock up drunk guys in the drunk tank. And Holly had to, what'd she say, get a key or something today?
For a new landlord.
So it's the four of us. I can't count. I'm from Jersey. It's early. I'm going to use that as my excuse. So let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our Geek Outs. Tobes, I'm going to kick it to you. What's your Geek Out?
Oh, you know what I'm geeking out about today.
I was waiting for this. We're going to skip Toby.
Double whammy of Sonic games, yes. So we got Sonic Mania announcement, which is a brand new 16-bit 2D side-scrolling Sonic game. You can play as Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and it looks amazing. So hyped for that. And it does, man. What?
Yeah. listen. Stop with the looks amazing. Okay, it looks Sonic-ish.
It looks like Sonic at his best, which was Sonic 1, 2, and 3.
Please, oh God, do we really want to do this early in the morning for me? It's afternoon for you, so I get that. But no, I like what they're doing here. I like the fan service. I like that they're going back to the basics. I think they're taking a page out of Nintendo, and they're seeing what Nintendo did with Mario Maker, and they're going, okay, let's take a step back. I think that the past couple of games have been bad. Definitely Sonic Boom was trash.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other one? Lost Levels?
Lost World.
How was that? How did you play it?
I didn't play that one.
See, this what drives me up the wall with you. You're a diehard Sonic fan, but you don't even play the games.
I play the good ones.
There are no good Sonic games. I've told you this.
Sonic Generations, that was
fantastic. Toby, have you played the remakes on like the iOS, Apple TV, and that kind of stuff?
No, I've not played any of that stuff. But apparently it's quite good.
They're fantastic. I have it on the Apple TV. It's like with a real controller, like Sonic 1, Sonic 2, fantastic. Like HD, full screen, but it looks like just a crisper version of the old ones. It's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, I heard. I was watching the Game Explain reveal discussion, and a guy on there was saying that he loves those mobile versions, and he wishes that they brought them to console.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Now, when you say that they redid them or whatever, are they like updated graphics, or are they just a 16-bit era graphics?
It's 16-bit era graphics, but it's all done in high definition. So
nice.
It looks crisp and clear and perfect, but it still looks like Sonic 1, Sonic 2. It's spot on. It's amazing, but it's all. I mean, it's redone for modern times. You know, it's kind of how Shovel Knight looks 8-bit, but you couldn't run that on the 8-bit kind of thing, and it's running in full screen and it's running in high def and all that kind of stuff. But it has that 8-bit. This is the exact same thing. Like you could take that and hold it next to the old Sonic games, and it looks spot on. It's really they're really solid.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and what's really interesting to me is the way a lot of these big publishing companies are sort of starting to realize that people want this retro goodness. Like, Square has got I Am Setsuna, which is basically a new Chrono Trigger, and they've got a whole new developer just working on those old school type games. And Sega is making an old school Sonic game, and people are like realizing that these experiences, they might look old with their pixel graphics, but indie developers have been doing it for ages and getting massive success. So I think the big publishers are starting to realize that it is still viable to make games like that.
Listen, it's got to be, because it's not costing you a quarter of the money it's costing you to do these big budget games. So you could crank out a lot more. You could make people happy because you're giving them what they want. And like you said, I think that like the Shovel Knights, the SteamWorld Digs, those type of games have showed that like hey, people are interested in those genre games, so give it back to them, like throw it back at them. What I'm curious is why they never upgraded the graphics. Like when Nintendo did, the collection, the All-Star collection, they redid all the original ones with better graphics